Hi, welcome to the first extraordinary folding session. So today I'm going to show you how to make this thing. It's a thing that you can cut and opens. Looks real nice, looks real cool. A lot of folding to it in Islamic pattern, real nice. We've done it in class, I believe. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, alright. So first off, we're going to get I'm going to get calibrated. I'm going to be using my cutting board, which I hadn't used before. So, just going to check them in sight. Yeah, alright. Good. So first off, we need some eightfoldness. Now I'm rotating it around. Don't you mind. Don't you worry. It's all good. It's all in the sake of the game, you know what I'm saying? So, we got our lines. We got more lines to come. So we did the diagonals, now we're folding it in half. That's one half. Now the vertical half. The horizontal, if you rotate it. So we got that, we got this, right? Good. So now we take the edges and we put them on the center, like so. Center, like so. Corner. All four corners. Yes, indeed. Nope, I think I missed one. You see, when you miss, it's all right. You know, you can just you can pivot, you can move, you can course correct. It's not the end of the world, right? That's right. All right, good. So all four corners to the center now. Some of you origami people might be like, "Oh man, I know this," but no, you don't. No, you don't, son. Here, let me show you. Let me just drop some knowledge on you. Turn her over. Now, these four corners are going to be turned into eightfolds now. So I'm going to take this, lift. See how I do that? See how this bit gets raised up? You see that's how it comes from underneath. That's right. Comes underneath, falls on top. That's right. Like that, and then I fold inwards like so. Excuse my fingers, blocking out all the light. So there you go. There you go. That's one. Now you need to do it again. And once we do it again, now we have time to think. We have time to sort of let our minds wander in the repetition of it. So every time we do these also, we're going to have to turn over, fold back, turn over, and fold to the top there, over there. That's right. Over here as well. So the eightness, the eightfoldness is very natural to the fourness because it's just half of four. And you can think of these numbers or these relationships in terms of multiples. At least that's how I think about it. At least with the flatness, at least with with just numbers, the idea of numbers or the idea of these shapes. Multiples definitely come in handy, you know. You can think of 12 being a multiple of 3. You can think of 8 being a multiple of 4. 16 being a multiple of 8 and 4, therefore related. So one more. So the way the world is going, huh? Ain't it crazy? Ain't it wild? Ain't it everything we thought it was going to be? Ain't it, we've been thinking about it, we've been writing about it for a long time, and now it's finally happening. And what are we doing? We're distracted. But it's fine. I sell distraction too, so it's what it is. So we got a very basic pattern for now, but I think we need to go one more step. So we take here, and now, yeah, we need to go one more. No, we do? Yeah, we do. Corner to the center on the flat side. Piece sells, right? So you might recognize this next move. This is pretty much how you do a whirlwind, right? You do this, you pop, 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 all 4 points pop, you close in, like so. This falls, this falls, this falls, and this falls. Now we got a little flat piece. We turn it over, you see what we got here, besides failure to communicate, are these 8 points that describe a star. You can even see sort of the star happening, right? Boom, boom, boom. Sort of see it, you can sort of see it. I'll just draw it in. Right, you get the idea, don't you? It's pretty much there. So the way that this is sort of fixed indicates that it's equidistant. All these 8 points are equidistant. So now the next step is to actually draw in a octagon. So we're gonna have those points be our guide. So we take it in and just make sure that it lands on the point. See? Point, 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 point. Line falls on itself. I'm gonna stand up from a chair. All right, I'm in focus. Maybe a little bit too small, too much depth space over here, but it's fine. We'll deal with it for now. Right. So we open this up. All of it, all of it, all of it. So what's really cool about this way, like this way of approaching this pattern, is that we even get to see something else sort of pop out of this. We see this called the 8, 4, 8. They are octagons beside squares, beside octagons, beside squares. So see the idea there? So now what we want to do is we want to sort of collapse in around these. So let me just turn it over. It's going to be easier for me to do this on the other side. But now the idea is everything that's an octagon is going to be sort of a mountain. So all these lines from this side are going to be valleys, pretty much. Everything's going to fall in. Now the reason being that, you know, these lines of the octagon are already valleys. So I just need to, you know, make a little couple changes, but everything's going to be fine. So these are part of the extraordinary folding sessions. Right, you see this sort of square, we're going to do all 4 of them before we do the collapse. That's 2. I've been watching Scottish TV, rather just Limmy. You know Limmy? You can just search on YouTube Limmy. It's really funny. I don't know, I have a kick watching him. And he's Scottish, so he has this very thick accent. It's just so cool that they even write words differently. They write more as mer. Mer. M-A-I-R. Mer. Dune, it's like D-O-O-N, dune. It's like down, right? Dune. And then it's like done, doesn't, doesn't, does not, doesn't. No, no, N-A-E is no. That's fascinating. All this stuff is really fun. They call women birds, beds, beds. And I don't think my pronunciation. Hen, they use hen too. Alright, hen. I don't know. Alright, they say alright a lot. Alright. Say, hey, how's it going? Alright, alright. For some reason, French people speak English very similarly. Like I have a couple of French friends, and whenever they try and speak English, they have like the same accent. It's so funny, the same accent. But right now, I just can't tap into it. Maybe down the line, I'll start doing it. So you see what I did? You saw how this octagon and the square sort of became hidden underneath this sort of fold, this square fold. You see that? Can you rewind? Can you understand? Can you see what I see? So that's pretty neat, right? So now here is where the fun starts. Because we got octagons next to squares, next to octagons. It's all based around this octagon now. Everything's tight, everything's good. Alright, cool. So next step is just to put in the star that we want to bounce around. We're not bound to this, but we can totally, be bound to it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be drawing the star from the half point of the edge. This is the edge, this is the half point. You should have these lines, right? So you're gonna go counting, all right? So you're gonna start counting at 0, and you're gonna count counterclockwise or clockwise, doesn't matter. 0, 1, 2, 3. That's your line. Now, I always like fold and unfold and fold and unfold. If we weren't cutting, if we were just folding the pattern in, which we might do, something you might do if you don't want to cut is also what you want to do is fold these. So you want to fold them to the path of least resistance. So for instance, this one is going to fall. Also make sure to fix these on the back there and such. Yeah, just make sure that everything is as tight and good as you can make it. So for instance, match that up, right? And this less resistance, let the distance go into the top there. And this one goes to the back. You see now you have this beautiful, beautiful shaved line. Look at that, look at that. Nobody's business. But again, if we were not cutting, then this would be the approach. But because we're cutting, I have my ruler here and everything prepped. And then in that case, we don't really care. We only care about this. Now, this might be something of an additional thing because, see, this isn't completely right. So this is only the preliminaries. Because if we cut around this, then we're pretty much just going to end up with a torn piece of paper. It won't be sort of a united, it won't look as nice. It won't look as nice. So it's important to keep that in mind. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, this is the 4th. There are 8 of these lines. 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. And it's 5. 6, 7. But no, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is 4. Again, just making sure that it's as straight as I can make it. So again, this point is serving as my guide. So I want to make sure that it's actually on the same sort of line because we don't have the line, it's imaginary. So I have to just make sure that it's as straight as I can make it. Straight as I can make it. Don't matter, don't care, it's alright, it's all good. This is for our own amusement and entertainment. Keep an eye out, keep an eye out. You can mute this and put on some music if you rather not hear me just ramble. And if I might suggest an artist and an album, I recommend that you Google John Zorn. On YouTube you can find this great music. John Zorn. Zorn with a Z. C-O-R-N. John Zorn. Yes please. Some more of that. It's great music. I don't know, I like it. It's very, very meditative. Meditative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, well, it's 6, so I'm missing 2. 2. Yeah, no, who am I kidding? I'll never be Scottish. I'll never be Scottish. Haha. No. That's like the that's like the Groundskeeper Willie voice, the voice that nobody talks like. I gotta watch more of that Scottish TV. Now it's hard because of all the layers to actually, get it the best that you can make it. But you need to, you hear? You gotta try. See, for instance, this one doesn't look too right to me. It's gonna need some course correction. Alright, looks good enough. So I'm gonna draw it in. And just to prove a point, well, of course, the overlap, and I wanted to draw the other star in to prove a point, but hey, it is what it is. Nobody said nothing about no drawing, no thing, and I don't care. So why not go ahead and just draw it in. And yeah, I recommend learning not to care. But is that irresponsible? Should people be taught to care, or should we be taught not to care? Is caring like a default? Should we care? Maybe we should. Let me just check the focus on this thing. All right, go. We're 17 minutes into this thing. Holy Jesus. Well, we're almost done. So now we just need the sort of where we want the ratio of our weave to be at, pretty much. Now there's several ways we can go about this problem, but it needs to be underneath these. So I'm just gonna keep it, improvised. So I'm just gonna sort of, I want to improvise it, but no, I know I shouldn't. Well, if I would have completed the eightfoldness of this thing, I would have this midpoint over here, right? And I could have drawn the straight line that goes through this midpoint, right? And then I would have gotten my pattern. But since I didn't draw in that midpoint, because it would have been, more time, more effort, I'm just gonna freehand it. I'm just gonna freehand this thing. I'm just gonna freehand it. You know what? I'm gonna freehand it so much. I'm gonna freehand it so much that I'm not even gonna freehand it. I'm gonna freehand it. Can you hear the blender in the background? There's a door. Yeah, they're blending beans or something downstairs. I gotta be cooking, gotta be making noise. That's life. You want food? It takes energy. You want your Nintendos, don't you? Well, it takes energy. It takes precious metals found in the core of the earth. Nothing's free, my guy. Nothing's free. It's a price to pay. Price to pay. Now, the way you can also see the weave is like, how this line is going straight? Boom, 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 boom. That's the idea. The idea is that these lines, so this, for instance, this guy, boom, 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 going up. This one actually will go all the way. This one does not stop. Does not bounce, does not hit, it just goes all the way out. Boom. Goes all the way out. So you know what? Screw it. I'm going to finish there. The other ways I'm going to do it by eye. I'm just going to cut at this thing. I'm not even going to use a ruler. Use a ruler. If you love your ruler so much, why don't you marry it? Yeah. Delirious, man. Now, the way that this is going to work for me is that I can't just go around improvising. I need an actual reference. So as long as I have one clear reference, everything else should just sort of fall into place. Sort of. Beautiful. My knife is sharp. My luck is good. All hail, all hail. The one true God. You know, I've been around the spiritual landscape of this thing. Like, I believed in almost about everything, but not really. You know, I like to think that I have, but I'm not. Like, how much can you really believe living in a city, being so influenced by books and plays and music from all over the world? You think you know everything. You travel, you see other people, you see their ways of being, you start to question your own, you realize that you're not so special. Maybe not. Maybe you just indifferently just consume their culture like it's a product. Maybe you just use their nature like it's something to be conquered. Like you're this conquistador, right? Whatever. Point is, I don't know. Why can't God have different masks and faces? Why can't there be like one true God that likes to dress up and go around and fool people into thinking things? Not even fool us, but like, what if we're presumptuous? What if we are sort of falling into some judgment? What the hell happened there? Something became unfazed. I felt it as I slid my knife through the paper. Yeah, there might be some mistake there because my knife sort of slid and cut something that shouldn't have. But yeah, no, this is the thrill of it, right? This is the pinnacle of entertainment and origaminess. Yeah, me cutting away with a knife and some folded piece of paper. Ooh, the cornerstones. You know, I always tell myself every morning, you're gonna die. Every morning I remind myself, hey, you gotta do this thing. You're gonna die, man. You're gonna die. You better just do it. Just do it. You're gonna die anyway. But you know, that also makes me want to do the right thing because hey, you know, you're gonna die. But I might as well do the right thing. Might as well do it right. Might as well. So see, for instance, this one. But even though, you know, I tell myself that I know that there's still like a deadline, or rather, deadline, no, I mean, you know, like how long have we been doing this? It's 23 minutes, son. It's a long time, son. Oh, it's a spider in my desk. I met him yesterday, this spider. I don't know, he seems kind of nice. He seems kind of, maybe he's trying to communicate with me. But I doubt it. I'm not a spider type. I go around for hikes and walks. It's one of my favorite things to do. I like the feeling that I could just walk and just see all these different trees and flowers and different species and conditions of earth and life. It's quite nice and beautiful and eye-opening. It reminds me that I'm not important, and I like that. I like to be reminded that all I feel and think is like trivia, nonsense, unimportant, or like, you know, just passerby almost. And yeah, whenever I find like these webs or these spiders, I always get creeped out. As much as I like nature and as much as I like animals, spiders kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. I mean, I won't cry or jump around or nothing like that. It's just, if I'm walking and I see just a bunch of spider webs, and I'm talking like a bunch of them, right in front of the path that there's like, you know, you gotta go through the paths where there's nobody around, right? If you see a lot of spider webs, I won't go. Man, steps are so fucking noisy. What else? I don't know, this is pretty much the end of it. So if you're like me, you should be also nearing the end. But, you know, technically we were done a long time ago. This is just pretty much the repetition of the process. And, you know, it's cool that, you know, we could have done this just through paper folding, but we didn't. We went through paper cutting today. Did this eightfold pattern. It's a very typical one. It's been analyzed to death, but it's also it's good for the basics. It's good to keep an eye out for. And you know, like this is a new approach to it. This was discovered this year by yours truly. At least that I, you know, as far as I'm aware. If anybody knows anybody else that does it this way, kindly let me know so I can find them. No, I'll send them a nice email. And yeah, well, I hope you enjoy making it. You know, I think I'm a little bit two-faced. Like, my brother just walked into the room. I think he was gonna ask for something, maybe for some keys, and like I wanted to say, like, you know, jog off. And so I gave him the finger. Like, I didn't even look at him. I just heard him go into the room. I just motioned and gestured towards the paper and just gave him the finger. And like, I thought that meant like jog off, you know, like, hey, can't do this right now. Let's see. Isn't that nice? I'm a monster. Now here's a nice little trick for you. If you're gonna be decorating these, well, this one's a little bit messy on this side. This one has some lines there, but whatever. Let's see. Let's use. Sure, let's use this big, thick Sharpie pen. Now we want to go for. I don't like this no more because it's going to draw on the back. So I'm going to take this piece of paper out. I'm going to put it in the back here. Now these lines are not straight at all. They're maybe a little bit too thick. Let's see how this looks. We go over and under. So it's over, under, over, under, over, under. And here, well, we'll leave that for the end. Let's see how the rest of it looks as we put in these lines. You know what? I'm looking at it, I'm thinking like, well, this is going to take some time, but this is the idea. We're meditating, we're relaxing, we're learning about ourselves and math and science and, you know, the different shapes that we might, you know, encounter in the wild, in our brains, in our minds, and in the very basics interacting, right? This is pretty much a very basic pattern. We sort of brought it about in this very novel way through paper cutting and paper folding. And this is, yeah, this is an Islamic pattern. It's found in the Islamic pattern world quite frequently. And it's easily done. I teach it whenever I can. And I miss teaching. I've been doing it through Zoom. Welcome to join there. Well, yeah, I don't know. I need to rethink the model. You know what I mean? Nah, you don't know what I mean. I don't know what I mean. Bam. This is going under, over, under. As it takes a little while, see, you gotta think, you gotta be on your toes. If you're not on your toes, you miss your cue, you don't look as nice. You don't look as nice, and you gotta start over, right? It's usually the way that it goes. And you make a lot of them, and then you can put them side by side, cover your window. Let the light come in, but like nobody can see you. Maybe they're from the outside, but like, what is that nice pattern? What is that nice shape? I am a monster. You ever get flashbacks about things you wish you wouldn't have done? You ever remember the times that you said I or yes, you didn't really wanna? I'm there with you. I'm there. I can't pretend I'm Scottish. I'm Mexican. I'm not even Mexican. I hate identities. I hate the identity behind a race or a country or anything really. I don't like the idea of identifying. Maybe that's because I got it good. Like, hey, judge me for who I am. See this right here. This is distraction. I mucked it up. This is the wrong side. This is exactly what I was talking about. Now I got it on video. Beautiful. You can also look at it as, so if it's going to the right, it's going to the right. I want to talk about identity politics, and this is what I get. See, lessons. Yeah, it's better not to talk about certain things, I suppose. Maybe not on your YouTube origami video. Go like, hey guys, how's it going? Let's fold some stuff, and why do you hear me talk about what I think about nonsense? I'm looking at it now, and this is really bothering me. But hey, I started. I'm not gonna cut you off like that right in the middle of it. This is life. Gosh dang, gosh dang. I wonder what's a good topic to talk about sometimes. You ever wonder that? You ever think about it? Like, gee, what should I talk about? You're in a room with somebody that you like, or a friend. Everything's quiet. You think like, whoa, it's kind of pretty quiet. Why should I say something? I guess that's what gossip is, right? It's just like talking for talking's sake. So things are quiet. I mean, some people are just gifted with the ability to just